And welcome in and happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. What are you having, Nicole?
Oh, you know me. I'm hanging out with Mr. Tito's, my other Mr., but Mr. Nick. What are you drinking in the three things for the show?
Well, before I tell you our three things, make sure if you are new here, hit the old like and subscribe. Well, Nikki, IYO SKY has become the women's world heavyweight champion. We have CM Punk calls out everybody, and Chad Gable has had a breakthrough on his Lucha Libre journey. It is Friday, March 7th, 2025. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Gasoline and groceries, the list goes on and on. This 9 to 5 ain't working. Why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell him bring another round when he's let it go. 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. All right. Good Lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
And welcome back in, everybody. And I apologize because Nicole reminded me I didn't tell you what I'm having. I am having my J. Lore 7 Oaks Cabernet, as per usual, as you like to say. So, Nikki.
Yes.
We have a lot to get to.
So much.
A lot to get to. Tonight is a very busy night, as Nikki likes to call it.
Ladies!
Who better to join us tonight than multiple-time Divas Women's World Champion in WWE, but Layla L is joining us tonight, coming up very shortly, so stay tuned for that. But Nikki, we have a lot to get to this whole week. Yeah, it hasn't been a week since we've seen you.
I know. Thanks for coming out with us and hanging out on a Sunday with us. That was fun.
We were back. We were on a Sunday last Sunday, but we are back this Sunday doing AEW Revolution, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We are previewing that card. 9 matches to get through. A pretty stacked card as well. So we are very excited, which means that tonight is going to be a very WWE-centric show. So make sure you write in, let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking. More WWE-related content tonight's show than anything else. But before we get to that, we get to our newest, arguably our funnest segment of the show. I know it's Nikki's funnest. It's known as Nikki's News. Yeah. And let's get into it, Nikki. Your non-kayfabe.
I know.
News.
At least this week we're positive. It's positive, Pete. Finally, I think we've been talking about this so much. Finally, Rey Fenix is no longer tied to AEW. He's a free little phoenix. He's gonna rise.
Free as a bird.
Free as a bird. Rising from the crap of AEW ashes. Apparently, basically WWE is imminent. I believe, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, that next week he reports to do like the medical physical exam that all WWE people have to go through, and basically once he clears that, like, he's gonna be on main. Apparently, there's already merch ideas floating around. Again, they've been thought they would have them earlier, and then thought they would have him when we got Penta. So I think Rey Fenix is going to be coming soon, and I'm very excited about it.
Well, all the Lucha Libre stuff, I mean, they always come up with the mask. Like, I remember like when Sin Cara came in, they were like, "Oh, it was super."
Sin Cara, Wonder Sin Cara too.
OG with all the masks, and he's got like 17,000 masks that you can sell with him. So
Oh.
it is super exciting to see. Let us know in the comments below, where do you think Rey Fenix ends up? Does he go with his brother Penta, and do they form the Lucha Brothers on Raw? Or does he go off on his own for a little bit? Maybe they throw him down in NXT for a little bit and let him build up his own name.
Apparently, it's Maine. I would personally, as much as I love their tag team together, I would love to see them fight. I remember they had that one match on Dynamite. It was the two of them against each other, and it was just like, "Ooh, stiffy stiff!" Again, you're gonna punch your best friend, your brother, a little bit harder. So I would love to see him feud with Penta before they come together. Again, the rumor, I don't know if you're going to talk about this later, but maybe him and Chad. He's Chad's guy. But again, whatever he does, if he's with Penta, like fighting with him or against him, whatever he does is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm
He's
really
so
excited.
good.
I just think that, like, you know, with all this time that he spent, you know, kind of locked up, as he likes to say, in AEW purgatory, thanks to Tony Khan, I felt like it's an opportunity for Penta to build himself up in the interim, you know, as a single star, maybe win a mid-card belt on Raw or SmackDown, wherever. And that was what I was kind of looking forward to for the next 6 months to a year. And I'm hoping that Rey could kind of do a similar thing for not as much time, but
okay.
It seems like that. Yeah, it's in it. They're going to try and put them together. The question is how the storyline will unfold. Because right now, is it the same, you know, Kaiser, Pete Dunne storyline that maybe they put them together with, or is there a tag team that they're looking at, or maybe?
Yeah. But
well, we'll get to Raw shortly.
Yeah, but part of me kind of worries about, because when you said, "Oh, Rey," I thought Mysterio for a second, because every luchador that comes in, it's like the next Rey Mysterio, and that's panned out for nobody. Do you think they'll make him change his name? Would he just come as like Fenix and not be Rey? Because you have Rey Mysterio.
I don't know if that like
obviously
cares as much about the single name deal. Like, well,
hello, Ricky Saint.
Ricky Saints.
Again, so the
but no, what I'm saying, like a single name, like Vince, I think was always about like one name.
Oh,
what is it, like,
so you think you
would
be Phoenix, okay with it just being Fenix? Or
yeah, I'd be
be
okay. But I felt like Triple H wasn't about the single name. I mean, Penta's just Penta. So
yeah, I just don't know if they would have dueling Reys.
Dueling banjos.
Yeah, or dueling pianists. I don't know, but super excited. I'm glad he's. No, not every luchador has to come in and feud with Rey Mysterio.
No, I should make them.
No.
But I'm just saying.
Well, the rumor is for Braun Breaker's belt. I guess we'll get to this when we go to Mania, but apparently the rumor is that the IC belt is going to be a big multi-man match again. So plug Rey, plug Penta, Kaiser, Peter Dune, throw them all in there.
Yeah.
I love it. But finally, he's out. He's free. I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments below, where do you want to see Rey Fenix end up? Right straight to Maine, to NXT? Who do you want to see him feud with? Do you want to see him go right with Penta? We will catch up. Nikki, what else you got?
Oh, next we got more Hall of Fame announcements. I believe it was today. The YouTube video said posted 5 hours ago. But Lex Luger is one of your Hall of Fame inductees this year. There was a cute little video of Cody, like he's had obviously health issues. He's been working with DDP, and exercising and working out and building his strength back up. So then you see Cody Rhodes go to, what is it? He used to call the accountability house. And when he was like,
DDP's.
Yeah, when he, resurrected Jake the Snake. But again, at the house, and then Cody comes to see Lex Luger and tells him, and they show this picture on the TV that he's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. DDP and Cody were both like, this is overdue. He's like, oh, you're the total package, but one thing is missing. And it's like, you're going to be a Hall of Famer. So now the total package will be complete.
They should have delivered it in the Lex Express.
Well, Cody basically has a similar bus.
I know. They should have turned it for one induction only into the Lex Express. But yeah, I mean, like I said, like we talked about this with Royal Rumble, like in terms of our Royal Rumble memories, like the Royal Rumble, him, Bret Hart, '94, just the dueling, doing the synchronize, going over the top rope and landing at the same time, and just that whole run where he was, slammed Yokozuna, and we thought he was the new Mr. America, like the replacement for Hulk Hogan, and that whole run that he had in WWE was kind of it. We thought it was going to go really, really far. It was just kind of short. And then really, when you look at his career, it was the WCW.
It was bigger in WCW for sure. Like him showing up on the first Nitro is iconic.
Yeah, like him in the Wolfpack, I think did a lot for his career for that period of time. Like I'm trying to remember though, like this is what I was thinking about too, though. Aside from the Yokozuna like road to WrestleMania, I'm trying to think of like Lex Luger's big feud like that stands out to me, and I really
who was he? Because obviously before that, he kind of did like, or in WWE he was like the narcissist with Bobby the Brain for a little bit, which honestly kind of went nowhere. And then like they showed like him feuding with Dusty, and it's like, did he win the belt against Steven? This is where I need you, babes. Did he win the belt off Rick before Rick went to WWE in '92? He won the belt off somebody, and I thought it was Rick. You can Google these. But I think, again, he definitely feel like he had a bigger career, had all the again, he beat Hulk Hogan with the Rack Attack. I guess he didn't call the Rack Attack.
Yeah.
I love my Nikki. But with the torture rack.
The torture rack attack?
Yeah, torture rack attack. But yeah, he won the belt off Hogan in what, 97? But again, I think he had a bigger, more prolific career, honestly, in WCW.
So 92 was his first world heavyweight. Championship run.
So I guess I'm just wondering. I can't remember. Or was it Barry Windham that got it? We just watched that pay-per-view like 2 months ago.
What did Lex Luger beat for him?
Hi, Lise. Do you remember? Rick Luger.
Barry Windham.
Barry Windham. Okay, I was right.
Well done.
Oh.
Lisa said torture rack attack. Same thing.
I mean, I love my Nikki.
John said they're scraping the bottle of the barrel.
I think this is
Lex Luger deserves it.
I think this is all people that probably, had the, again, I love Coco Beware, but how is Coco in there before Lex Luger is a little crazy pants? I think they're just bringing in people that had problems with Vince, and now that Vince is gone, it's like, oh yeah, come back into the fold. Again, like they signed Demolition, Access Smash to Legend deals.
So let's get Macho Man in here. Let's get Rick.
He already.
Oh, he is.
He is.
Oh, he is.
He did it posthumously. And then his brother Lanny did like the posthumously again.
Big word.
Me and words, kids. But no, he wanted
checking in. Hey, welcome inside. Happy for Lex Luger.
Because Lanny did, because he's he wasn't whatever he was, a professor. No. Anywho, he did that great speech that all rhymed at the end. That Lanny. I was in Philly, so I want to say 2014, 2015. Anyway, Randy's already in. But also, which I feel personally a little sad about, also announced per Dave Meltzer yesterday, the natural disasters are also going into the Hall of Fame. Earthquake, typhoon, John Tenta, Fred Altman, Shockmaster, Tugboat, Golga.
From the oddities? Come on.
But I'm like,
how could you forget the Shockmaster?
Oh, I'm a little sad. I'm a little sad pants because it's like Triple H got told in front of people, Michelle McCool got told on ESPN, Lex Luger got Cody Rhodes. Where about my Fred Altman?
He's probably torn around.
But again, it's the trend. You have like your big headliner, obviously.
Who was it? Harvey Whippleman. Is Harvey Whippleman still right? He should have done it. Harvey Whippleman should have been the one. Right? Wasn't
maybe he'll be inducting that. Like that's a whole, when we get closer to Hall of Fame, who'll be inducting who. But I just feel like everyone got these grandiose things, and it's like, poor Fred. Fred forever. But yeah, again, you're a big headliner, Triple H, your woman inductee, Michelle McCool. Then now you got your tag team, Natural Disasters, and you're kind of like your standalone person. So I wonder, like, I don't think they've done it a celebrity lately. I think the Warrior Award has kind of been shuffled away.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
So I don't know, like, is there like a manager or that hasn't been?
Yeah.
Speaking of like Harvey Whippleman.
Yeah, a manager. Yeah, I'm trying to think who would be. I don't know. That'd be kind of an interesting.
Let us know who you think.
Slideaway's saying he kind of hopes Sting can induct Luger. Yeah, but I don't know what the AEW contracts how they would do it. It would be nice if they just said like for one because they had done it like really done in the early days before all the.
No, they stopped because when DX got. No, was he there for when DX got into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he was.
He was. I think he was.
Vince buying AEW. So yeah.
I don't think we've seen him since. Yeah. No. I don't know timelines.
Yeah, but it would be interesting. I know Steven's upset and talking about people that should have been inducted. Owen Hart.
Martha would never. I think they would do it, but I think Martha's pretty much said like she's not doing anything with. And that's the big thing with her doing the partnership with Tony and actually finally getting. I'm actually wearing a Heart Foundation shirt right now, not my own shirt, but like she doesn't want anything to do with WWE. Anything that all the new stuff that came out with Owen is strictly through AEW and her partnership with Tony Khan.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let us know in the comments below. Did you like these two inductees? Lex Luger, the Natural Disasters, former World Tag Team Champions, or WWF Tag Team Champions. What do you think about Rey Fenix officially being released?
Finally.
Yeah, where's he headed? A lot to get to.
Yeah, and that's just my Nikki's news.
Yeah, that's just your Nikki's news. So, Nikki, we get back to it.
Get into it.
Start back into kayfabe. Get back into kayfabe. Get back into character, Nikki. So, and scene. You don't have to do the John Cena face.
No, I don't.
Monday Night Raw takeaways. Nikki.
Again, it's so crazy pants to think because it feels like yesterday and so, but like also long ago. Like obviously, this is the first Raw post Elimination Chamber, post turn, post crazy pantsness, and then CM Punk comes out pissed, and he gives his State of the Union address. And that like he's gonna address all his enemies, and because his name is CM Punk, that means everybody. So then he starts yelling to the crowd, "Who do I talk about? Who do I talk about?" And then you just hear Pat McAfee, "The Rock," just like screaming "The Rock." So then he goes and tears down The Rock, tears down Cena, starts say, "Becky, get your man," starts talking about Seth, and then he comes out and they have like a 3.5-minute brawl.
Well, before we get to the brawl, we have a little bit of let's take you back to some of the ending of where CM Punk cuts off and before he gets to.
Ironically, Mr. Don't Quit, Mr. Don't Give Up, you gave up on yourself. You gave up on all of these people. You gave up on all those kids. The joke's on you. I'm going to see you down the road. And I'm going to get my hands on the both of you bald frauds. And when I do, you're going to make a wish that I never did.
Make a wish. Ah! God damn it, he's so goddamn good.
Yeah, he is phenomenal.
So good. And I love that he just like, I don't mean to cut you off, but just like just yelled into the camera. I love when it's just like to camera. Yeah,
it hits harder. It hits harder for the audience. Unfortunately, for the live audience, probably doesn't hit as good. Yeah, but it's fair. So, Nikki, you mentioned it. He calls out The Rock. He calls out John Cena, and then ultimately he calls out Seth Rollins. They come out and they get into a scuffle.
No, so there was some stiffs hitting each other, and they're gouging eyeballs like that. again, we're all wrestling fans. We know how this goes, but this just, it's still real to me. Like, this just feels like they really don't like each other.
So that brings the question: what is next
Oy.
for Punk, Rollins?
Because I love the thing, because it was the previous to before your question. They, in previous, I guess before, I don't know if it was before Rumble, back and forth between the two of them. And he was like, listen, little brother. And he was like, don't call me little brother. And he brought it up again. And he's like, my little brother, Seth. And then he was like, Becky, get your man. And so like all these little things are just like, But then again, Joho said in the chat, like, they're having a cage match. I think it's a cage match. I don't think it's Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
it's a cage match. But again, I don't know if it's because they're at Madison Square Garden. Again, like that's you know,
draw. Yeah.
It'd be so good to see, but like, I don't want to go to Madison Square Garden. But like, does that mean that they're not going to feud at Mania? I just feel like it's also like the Netflix debut all over again. You're just kind of blowing your load of all these matches. That like, then what are you gonna do at Mania? Like Roman Solo, like I don't know.
Yeah, so ultimately, well, that brings up the other question, right? So what's next for Punk, Rollins, and Cena? But where does Roman Reigns fall in all this?
No, I don't care. I don't.
Because, all right, so let's take you back to Royal Rumble when Roman gets the stomp and Rollins goes after both Roman and Punk. So there's still that seed planted for a triple threat. But now with the new wrinkle of the bloodline, you know, The Rock and Cena, Roman Reigns could fall a number of different ways. Would he sign with The Rock after all this? Because, you know, the bloodline, all that stuff. Would he go against The Rock and maybe we have a rematch, a similar scenario of last year where Cody has a partner and his partner is Roman Reigns? Or could that partner be CM Punk?
We already saw him
against The Rock and John Cena. It's a big money match, though, and that's a main event for.
Apparently, Roman is not scheduled to be on TV until they do the overseas tour, which I believe is the last week of March into February. It's like they're before Mania and Vegas. They're doing a huge, it's like a 2-week tour in the UK, and Raw and SmackDown are going to be filmed there. So maybe that's a ruse that maybe people are saying that he does show up on Monday to cost somebody, but it's just like, what do you?
Well, Andrew thinks it only interferes setting up a triple threat at Mania, potentially on Monday. Yeah.
But what again? It's not for a belt. What are you costing? If assuming he goes after Seth, so like, oh, you lost a cage because again, obviously a cage match is no DQ. So like, oh, you interrupted a cage match. But that doesn't do anything for anybody.
Well, no, because he just wants to beat him up after he got screwed over at Royal Rumble after all that garbage. Andrew tends to think that that's going to happen. Andrew, welcome in as a new commenter. Hit the old like and subscribe.
Yes, please.
Yeah, hit the old Samoan spike on the.
I wouldn't mind Seth Roman. But I don't know where I want my CM Punk. I don't know because everyone's kind of clamoring for him to be in that Cena Cody match. But I don't know. Don't know.
It's going to be a real interesting road to WrestleMania next month and a half we still got.
I agree with Joho in the chat. I'm so over Roman Reigns. I don't care. Again, it's me and my tirade with Josh 2 weeks ago about John Cena. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we had him for shoved down our throats, and then when he finally got cool, he took the belt and dipped for 3 years. And I don't care.
Cassie, we're gonna get to it with Bianca Rhea. We're gonna get to that shortly. So hang in there. We are getting to it. But yeah, let us know in the comments below what's next for Punk, Rollins, and Cena. What do you want to see with the three of them? Do you want to see CM Punk interact with Cena at WrestleMania and be part of the anti-establishment of bringing down the final boss and this new Hollywood two-man Hollywood power trip?
My bold prediction now: Cena wins at Mania. Punk takes the belt off Cena at SummerSlam. calling it here, folks.
Cody just gets. Oh.
I don't want to take credit for this because I really loved it, but watch Cultaholic. I love those guys. Tom Campbell said that this feels like I'm gonna fuck this up after 2 drinks. Not New Hope. No, Empire Strikes Back. It's Empire. This is gonna be Empire, and we're gonna end WrestleMania with the baddies winning. And then next year, Cody has to come back. I think Cody will win Elimination Chamber next year.
A redemption story.
Yeah, so I think this year kind of feels like Empire, that we're gonna like end, and it's not gonna feel great because John Cena, or I don't think John Cena is gonna win clean, obviously, because he's a heel. But I think Cena's walking out of Mania. Punk's gonna take it off him. Again, bold predictions.
Bold predictions from Nikki. Nikki offering a bunch of her bold predictions. Well, Nikki, on Raw, there was a lot to get through. There was 3 big major matches, 3 title matches on Raw.
Yeah.
And what we saw were 2 of the 3 were retained.
Oh, I didn't know the video was on there.
Yeah.
I sang to all the songs.
everything.
I sang all the songs. I danced to everything.
So, Nikki, 2 titles were retained on Raw. We
Yes.
saw the War Raiders
Yes.
retain the World Tag Team Championships, right?
Yes.
And Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria.
It's potato. We do this every time.
Mm.
Also retains the women's hurdle.
You said her name wrong because you beat your girl. For our new kids, Nick has a crush on Ivy Nile.
What she did.
Good. Kick her in the face.
Retained her women's Intercontinental title over Ivy Nile. I thought all 3 of American Made had probably their best showing on the main roster that I've seen. I don't know about you all out there, but to me, again, like the shooting star press that the Creeds did, like just throughout, they looked as strong as they ever have in any match against.
I would say on
On the
Maine.
main roster.
On Maine. Because they did that stuff all the time in NXT and was pretty dominant in NXT.
But ultimately, American Made feels more like the All-American Rejects at this point in time because they failed to obtain gold on Raw, and again, they're lost seemingly without their leader, Chad Gable, who, while they are suffering through some setbacks, Chad Gable has had a little bit of a breakthrough, Nikki, on his Lucha Libre journey.
Do you know this man?
Do I know you?
I was waiting for you.
So you're the guy? You're the one that's gonna help me beat the luchadors?
You cannot fight what you don't understand. You must become Lucha.
I've traveled too far to get here. I'll do anything. Come on. What do I gotta do?
You now will power beyond your understanding.
So, Nikki,
What's in the Oh. Steve Ben. Did you just yell "What's in the box" and not know that reference?
Yes, no, I've never watched the movie.
Deep in.
Because I've never watched Scary Movie.
It's not scary. Well, I'm not good with scary movies either, but that's more like that's more psychological, true crimey. Anywho, Steve, let's not go down this rabbit hole. Again, obviously he paid $400 for a mask, but whose mask is it anyway?
What if it's like a key to like a lockbox or something, and he just like knew?
I don't know. But I love this little segment of him like roaming around the streets, like, have you seen this guy? Have you seen this guy? So what did? Because he was supposed to get a name from Dominic to go on this quest.
Well, Slideaway's chiming in. He thinks that it has to be for Phoenix.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. Like, that would be so cool. I think that'd be so cool. It's like, not that it sounds a little weird, but like, this is the mask and I'm going to invoke Phoenix. I'm going to raise the Phoenix. And like, I don't know if Phoenix comes out as like his head is heavy to go after Penta. Or I guess what do you, henchman? Like, maybe heavy's the wrong word.
Here's my weird theory on this. So in this vignette, right, he meets this guy who's basically like, here, I'm going to give you this tool, right?
Sure.
For money. And he's like, that's not enough, $100, $200, like $300. So he gives him $400 for what we presume is a Lucha Libre mask. But what he says is like, you wield power that you do not know. You have to become like a Lucha Libre. There's two things that, first off, in David, what I would love to see, because he's one of the best wrestlers on the main roster, if Chad Gable starts doing some like springboard flips and shit, it's going to be fantastic. I would love to see something like that. So I could see that being an element of this, of him coming back and having like a Lucha Libre. Or I've seen it, can't take credit for this, I don't know who did it, online, like the Patriot mask or like the old Hulk Hogan Mr. America mask.
Gross.
Could be something that he wears. But the other element of this is, what if Chad Gable is actually being played by this guy, right? Because this guy hustled him, in theory, potentially out of like $400, and just like, you wield power that you don't know. You don't like. He basically thinks like he's just going to master this in whatever time frame, and he's just like going down to wherever to try and learn about Lucha Libre. And I think it's going to be like kind of like a cruel prank of like, oh yeah, look, you'll learn from this guy. Maybe they bring in Phoenix, and Phoenix kind of turns on him because of his brother. Like, just kind of a whole big like, you went on this whole journey just to, for nothing. I think it's kind of a fun play on it that brings in Phoenix as a face.
Yeah, because also like you again getting the thing from Dom Mysterio, you can't trust Dirty Dom. That he was like, oh, I'm gonna
Slide Away completely echoed that statement. What if Gable's naive enough to not realize he's getting help from Penta's brother? Yeah, exactly.
That'd be super. That'd be so fun. It'd be such a unique, interesting way to bring someone in.
Yeah, it's like you've been hacked. Yeah.
So I don't know if this is like a slow burn for him doing these vignettes just to kind of kill time for when we can actually get Phoenix on TV.
Yeah. What I love about it though is it's got the very like oh my god, Lucha Underground feel to it. Like all those Lucha Underground vignettes were, and I know Ed. It doesn't seem like he's in the chat yet, but Ed, you chime in. I know Ed loves Lucha Underground, and he's watched probably every season of it in my opinion. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see. But it had a very Lucha Underground feel to it, which I really like, because I always like the campy type stuff to it, and then even the darker. Yeah. So really, so let's know, what do you think is in the box? Is it a mask? Is it something else? Do you lead to a Rey Fenix or someone else debuting? We shall see, Nikki.
Yes.
But that wasn't the main attraction on Monday night. That wasn't the main event.
No, well, you fell asleep as per usual, and I was like, and like grabbed you, and you're like, what? I was like, IYO the champion, and you're like, what? I was like, IYO won the belt. Rhea's not champion going into Mania, and then you kind of like rolled back over, and the next one you're like, did you know IYO won? And I was like, yes, I told you last night.
Well, if you missed it like I missed it, you can see it right here. Let's recap a little bit of the end. that song?
But that was when I ruled the world.
Nikki,
Oh,
IYO SKY, new women's world heavyweight champion, and what are your thoughts?
It's so incredibly hard because NXT IYO SKY was incredible, and then when she did her heel turn was incredible in NXT. And then I feel like, again, it's kind of like with Asuka and kind of like here, Kairi Sane on Main, there's these pockets of greatness, and then all of a sudden they're getting dogged out in the tag division. And I think she's so much better than people give her credit for, that I love. Again, she walked into Mania as champion last year. So have her seemingly walk in back-to-back Manias as champion, I do like. Again, is this a redemption story? Like, again, because Rhea cut that crazy promo at the end of her feeling kind of like a real person. Then, not that maybe doesn't sound right, but of her being this like mommy and I'm a badass and I do all this stuff to kind of feel like kind of broken down by this a little bit. So I don't know if there's a redemption arc for Rhea, but also my Bianca Belair, the ESC, like has an undefeated streak. But like I thought this would be a triple threat. I didn't think it'd be Rhea fighting to make it a triple threat.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. This match was great.
Good.
IYO is phenomenal in the ring. So like she broke out a lot of the moves of her counterparts, like Kairi Sane and Asuka. Here she is doing the Asuka lock, which is neat. Yeah, I mean, she always puts on great matches, and she felt like kind of an afterthought in this whole WrestleMania season, even on Raw. So it was just like a twist and turn in this whole storyline that I don't think anyone really expected. It was just kind of like, all right, maybe somehow at Mania she would have pulled off the win there and stole the belt at a triple threat, but no one saw this coming. And the fact, Rhea calls out her shot to Bianca.
Finish your statement because I want to let.
And that's kind of her downfall, is her final, like, her arrogance. Which
seems so different because now she's gone on this like post. I guess SummerSlam when she broke up with Dom and doing the Terror Twin stuff with Priest, that she's been on this babyface run, and for her to look at Bianca and be like, I see you at Mania, and try to do the Avalanche Riptide, like we haven't kind of seen that hubris from her in a while. Like I don't know if this really like turning her heel, because I guess someone's got to be heel on this, because we still don't know have answers with the Jade Bianca Naomi stuff. Would they weirdly turn Rhea heel again? But that seemed not. I don't think out of character, because that kind of has been her character for so long. But for her to like take her eye off the ball to look at Bianca feels a little different.
No, it is. And well, Lisa is not a believer of this timing, because IYO is an amazing wrestler and she deserves it. But WrestleMania or SummerSlam or PLE like that, not Raw. Lisa, I wonder if you don't believe in title changes on Raw periods, unless it's the Raw after WrestleMania. Which I think someone knows a little something about.
I don't know. I love it. Like, again, this is maybe the shock and awe of Triple H's booking that, like, again, we all of us talked about this last week, and then it was like, oh, it's just going to be a straight up, like, Rhea's walking in. And then it's just like, no, she's not. And it's just like, makes you want to watch. Like, oh, I don't know. Again, women closing out Raw, fucking love. Love that it's like a shock change that no one saw coming. I love that it's kind of like they talk about like the men's division or like everything going on with, Rock, Cody, Cena, Punk, all that seems like we don't know where that's going. I love that they finally, like with the women's side, again, Tiffy, Charlotte, we all kind of knew, but at least this seems different. This seems like I don't know where this is going. So we all thought Rhea was walking in as champion, and now she's not. So it's just like, where is this going to go? I love that as much as I know Lisa and I and everybody loves Rhea Ripley, I love that this feels a little different.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting road to WrestleMania. And Rhea chasing. I mean, she's a big enough star, she doesn't need the belt. So
yes,
that's where I tend to be okay with it. But yeah, now IYO's been a 3-time women's champion.
I know, walking in back-to-back Manias with that belt.
Yeah, so it is pretty crazy. So when you think about it, but Nikki, go ahead.
Third, I guess maybe more Mania talk, but it popped in my head. Like, are they putting the belt on IYO so they can put the belt on Bianca at Mania, because she's currently has her streak, without hitting Rhea? Like, we want to put the belt on Bianca, but we don't want to pin Rhea. And then I kind of feel bad for EO, but I guess this is more when we get to Mania talks.
Yeah. No, we'll see as we are on the road to WrestleMania. So, Nikki, let's get into a little bit of a preview for tonight. Before we open up the phone lines, we'll open up the phone lines here in a few short minutes. So, if you want to call in, let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking. We're going to open them up a little early tonight because we may or may not. Well, we already spilled the beans on it. We do have a special guest on the show. So we're expecting Layla to join us relatively soon. But we're going to open up the phone lines a little bit early tonight. But Nikki, SmackDown preview for this evening. It looks like we're going to see, fresh off of his helping of introducing Lex Luger to the Hall of Fame, Cody Rhodes is returning tonight, and he's expected to address what happened at Elimination Training. How does Cody respond?
I don't think we talked, because again, go back and watch our show from Sunday. I don't think we've talked about this enough. Bye, Joho. Love you. I don't know if we talked enough about Travis Scott just punching him in the face and apparently has a black eye and an eardrum thing. I think obviously this
Lex Luger called in last week. We were talking about last week.
I just feel like the Luger thing was filmed a while ago, but like, does he show up with like a black eye? And again, like,
that wouldn't be the worst thing either.
No,
for the storyline yet.
But so many people talked about it, and then rewatching, I've watched it like in slow motion, and I'm like, ooh.
Well, the thing is now, presumably with Cena and Rock off to Hollywood, Cody's gonna have to carry this vocally by himself for a little bit, and I'm sure there's gonna be some full timers that are gonna like fill in the gaps as like a minor, to job out to Cody along the way. But like, what's the next step in this storyline? Because Cody's gonna need backup. That's always gonna be the storyline with this. Is he's gonna need backup? So, and kind of to your point about like WrestleMania, if it's Empire Strikes Back, right? If that's the storyline arc that we're going with, then maybe there's another, like, an ace up the Rock's sleeve for WrestleMania. Is there a new bloodline member that comes in? Is there someone that he has, potentially made a deal with? I don't know. I think tonight we see a little bit of Cody kind of maybe the beginnings of maybe him reaching out for help because he's going to know he's going to need it.
That was also the thing when like he was getting beaten up by The Rock and Cena and Travis Scott, that like Cole was yelling. He's like, he doesn't have any friends. No one's going to come out. Like Jay wasn't there. Randy Orton already saved Sami Zayn. That's his two friends. And again, him and Orton haven't, obviously Orton's been out for a while, but like they're saying he's got no friends. Someone's gonna help Cody.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But Jay's gonna be in the main event, so Jay can't. Well, maybe the night before, but Jay can't help because he'll be in the main event. He's got his own problems to worry about. So yeah, and he's not friends with Kevin Owens anymore.
Nope. And assuming that's the Mania match between Orton and KO.
Yeah, Steve said that receipt's going to be incredible.
Like, oh my God. It's just like, it just looked bad in slow motion. Like, and I don't know.
But we'll see. Let us know in the comments below what you're expecting. We open up the phone lines. Here, let me pin the link here again, chat. Call in. Let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking.
I know. Do you want to talk about how much I don't like what they're doing with Gunther talking about Jay? Oh, I hate it.
I know you hate it. Well, Nikki, let's open up the phone lines here a little early so we can let some people get out and air their grievances. So, Wayne Parks, there's the StreamYard link. It's in the chat now because apparently in the description it's not a full link.
You have to copy and paste.
Yeah,
you have to work on that.
If you're on mobile, we want to make sure that you can click through and do all that fun stuff. So it's in the chat. If you want, it's pinned in the chat. Click the link. It's a StreamYard link. Write your name in. Let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking about Raw this week. If you want to talk about CM Punk's pipe bomb on The Rock, John Cena.
You bull fraud!
Seth Rollins. Do you want to talk a little about the new women's champion, IYO SKY, in a shocking twist of events?
Again, beautiful. I know Tippy's is the beautiful moonsault, and like IYO's is over the moon, but like I don't know, IYO has a pretty fucking moonsault.
Yeah, no, she does. I mean, but I do like the way that.
Are they gonna have
Tippy's is springboard, which I like.
Are they gonna have dueling? Because Charlotte also does a moonsault. They have a moonsault.
Yeah, but Charlotte's it's not a finishing move. She's just part of it.
Yeah, well, that's
she does a standing moonsault, I think. Too.
No, she's just off the rope.
No, but I mean, onto a standing opponent, I should say. So.
Oh yeah, it's usually just to the outside.
Yeah. So, Nikki, let's open up the phone lines here and let everyone in. So, as I like to say, here, miss it. Where did everything go? I'm starting to lose touch. There it is. All right, found it. Sorry, a little bit further down. So, Nikki, as I like to say to my little blondie, hit the snake. All right, Nikki.
Huh?
As we usually let the regulars kick it off. Nikki?
Yes.
Say his name and he appears.
I believe in Steven.
Steven!
Steven!
You have never seen Seven?
Not the whole.
Right? Thank you.
No, just the good parts.
Come on.
You just know him yelling about a box.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, and but that movie has spawned so many memes.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's exactly. That's probably why I know about it.
That's your homework.
Is this grounds for divorce? I can't believe you didn't see that. You should watch it.
Unbelievable.
It's such a good movie, though. It's Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, but it seems like a movie that's going to make me sad. So I'll be sad.
Ugh. Steven, anywho, these, what you thinking, what you drinking?
I don't like things that make me sad.
Hated it.
It's definitely a creepy movie, and it's definitely not an upbeat type of movie. But definitely worth a watch.
True. So, Steve, what are you drinking? What are you thinking?
I'm just drinking a Pepsi today. You know, all I wanted was a Pepsi. Just one Pepsi.
Are you Pepsi Hill?
Yeah.
Steve, what else? What are you thinking? Anything for this week that's really grinding your gears?
Where okay, the natural disasters. Okay. I mean, you know, they were a good team. But I mean, I'm wondering what went wrong with Demolition, because I thought for certain they had just signed they had just put Demolition back on the alumni roster.
Mm-hmm.
And you figure, okay, they signed a Legends deal. That means, okay, get them in the Hall of Fame. Unless they're changing their rule of only one team goes in a year, then, you know, this was the opportunity for this year. And, you know, they opted to go in this direction. And I'm, you know, again, nothing against nothing against the disasters, but I'm a little confused.
Do you think it's maybe something that like we agree to like a Legends deal, but don't want to be in the Hall of Fame?
It's entirely possible. I mean, they do have to get Demolition to sign off on it. So
yeah,
I automatically thought that might have been part of a Legends deal. I guess not. I guess not necessarily, but
yeah, that's true. Sure.
Waiting for like a better city. Like next year, next year is in New Orleans. So like, I don't know if they rather do that than Vegas. I don't really think
that.
I think Vegas not to Norla, but like Nola. So I don't know
if that would be pretty funny then if they just booted the natural disasters to next year and had a typhoon inducted in New Orleans.
There you go. That's why it's this year.
Oh man, that seems inappropriate though. It seems so inappropriate. Oh,
and on that same note with the Hall of Fame, would it be possible to have a double inductee and have Luger get the Warrior Award too?
I think you can't do that.
I don't know, but they haven't done because I don't think because for a while Dana was like in creative, but last year they didn't do it, and I believe was it the year before they also like was Chad the last person to get it, and maybe they just ended it with Chad and Gaspar.
Maybe. Well, I think it depends on the story. I think they can find the right story that fits it too. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I told Nick I wasn't going to talk about my feelings about Lex Luger, so I'm not going to talk about my feelings about Lex Luger. But
Steve, what else you got for us?
Okay, so the women's match. I still think the women's title match for Mania. I still think Bianca is going to end up not being a part of that match and have her own match. But let's assume that it's going to be the triple threat with Bianca, Io, and Rhea. So now, how do you book this? I mean, Bianca's got a streak. Io's got a personal streak against Rhea. I'm trying to. I guess what you would have to do to book that without breaking any of that is you have Bianca pin Io. Io's still undefeated against Rhea. Bianca, of course, keeps up her undefeated streak.
Yeah.
But if the issue with Jade isn't settled by then does Jade come out and cost Bianca the match? I mean, I don't know. There's still a lot that's unclear. And the statement that came out this week of if you think you know what the card is going to be coming out of Elimination Chamber, basically you got another thing coming. And it's like, well, yeah, it's like 5-6 weeks away. Y'all better hurry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could book a lot in that time.
30, because Ash Wednesday, 40 days, April, June, July, September.
Yeah, so we'll see. Steve, we're going to cut you off short here. We're going to bring you back on. We're going to take call-ins around 7:30 again after our special guest. So I'm going to pop you out here so we can try and get a couple people in. So, Steve, goodbye for now. So
Not forever.
Not forever. No. We get our regulars in, but Nikki, when we have a newcomer, we're trying to bring him on into the bar. So
yes,
let's bring
a
new friend. He's chimed in on the show before, but bring in the big fella.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Nick and Nick. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, no. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, pleasure.
Yeah, I was calling about Revolution, but I didn't know you were having a show on Sunday. So
yeah. So we switched it up. Normally we include it all, but tonight, very shortly in the next couple of minutes, we're going to have Layla from WWE coming on as a special guest.
Oh, nice.
So we switched it up because the pay-per-view is on Sunday. We figured we'd start 5 o'clock.
That's cool. Yeah. I'll try and get back on Sunday. And I agree with Steven. Demolition should be in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
They should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. They were huge back in the 80s. And I mean that, and things are going good with the WWE. I mean, what do you see happening with the whole bloodline thing right now?
It hasn't been a focal point, to be honest. So it's just like, because like Jacob has been going solo, and then also fighting with Solo. It's just like, is that going to be your medium match? Like Jacob Solo? Like, all right. I want to beat the shit out of him.
Is Roman going to take Solo back? Do you think about that? Or
that's an angle that could be played, right? Like he's so lost because if you remember back to Survivor Series, like Solo went down swinging. He didn't like lose like a true heel fashion. He just went down swinging like, I'm going to take this loss, and he took everyone's finish. So like it could be one of those like, I respect you that you were trying to take it, but like again, like this is not what's right. You know.
And what did you think about the heel turn with Cena? Were you surprised?
Not a surprise. I mean, because like someone had to turn. It was Cena or Punk. So like I feel like it was going to be one of the two. And this is just, I mean, you see it, right? Like everyone's talking about it. Jon Stewart's talking about it. I know he's a big wrestling fan, but like he's talking about the show. It's getting mainstream attention because it's been 20 years since he's been a heel. So like this is the only way to my opinion, to make that run memorable. Aside from like you'll get the nostalgia of it's John Cena versus CM Punk one last time. It's John Cena versus AJ Styles one last time. Like it's all well and good, the face thing. Like let's run it back, but like having extra storyline, extra kayfabe storyline momentum in it gives it that much more for the crowd.
And bro, there's a lot of fans that didn't see him as a heel, so. Because it's been so long, so it's actually pretty cool that he actually went back.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, 20.
Yeah, because it was like when he was Dr. When Stephanie figured out he can rap when he was Vanilla Ice for Halloween. I don't know. It just part of me really hates it because it brings me back to his feud with Bray Wyatt and the Fiend and that whole. I love the Firefly Funhouse so much, and it's just like Bray was white. You're an asshole.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're 100% right with that. That whole match of vignettes and everything like that. It was wild. It was absolutely. When Bray is doing his Bischoff impression, he's like, "I love you, and I love you too." It's such a beautiful thing to me, and I'm just like. No. And then you didn't see Cena for a while, and he popped up like he didn't die in the Firefly Funhouse. I don't know. Go ahead. Well, no, sorry.
No, you go.
Okay. What I remember the most, well, not the most, but it was like it stood out for me. You remember when Cena just started going crazy with the exercise bands and just going up and down and up? I was just like, holy crap. And also with that, I read something that Bray Wyatt actually predicted. They're saying Bray Wyatt told everybody he was a heel 5 years ago, and now he finally did it. So, yeah, it's good stuff. The storytelling's very good. That's something AEW needs to learn from them.
You will
Friday, baby.
Yeah, come back on Sunday because we're going to really get into it about like
so many.
And honestly, I'm very excited for the card because I think this is probably the best card they've had in the last 2 or 3. Me too. Except for the first match. The first match with friggin' what's his name? Big Boom AJ.
Oh, it's on 0 hour. And what are you doing to Orange Cassidy? Like I can't with all of this.
I mean,
AEW, I want to root for you, but you need to be real fucking angry.
No, I mean, go ahead, Nick.
Oh no, I just say like this. It's tough, but to be honest, what I will say is this last like 2-3 week run that they've had, these and especially this pay-per-view, it's all built up. 2 or 3 of the matches are just legitimate grudge matches. Like you have Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay grudge match. I know it's the second time Steel Cage, but you have the Hangman MJF match, which I didn't think was going to have as much momentum as it got.
Feelings.
And then oh my god, I'm missing the third. But the third.
Kenny Takeshita?
No, that's for belt.
Swerve.
Yeah, Swerve. The Swerve Ricochet, which actually is the hottest of the three, because Ricochet's doing the best work of his career right now, and he's doing kind of the point where we talked about with AEW a lot, is that like the character development's not there. There's so many guys. Like Will Ospreay can do a million moves, and you know he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, but his personality, his charisma does not show in AEW. Ricochet is showing more charisma in AEW in the last month than he ever showed in WWE, anywhere else. Same thing, like it's the Swerve, like Swerve came into his own in AEW. I could see the same thing going for Ricochet.
I agree. Also, I predict for that match, not a heel turn.
Yeah.
That's definitely gonna be one of the topics we talk about. Well, big fella, thanks for chiming in.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Pleasure. We will see you hopefully on Sunday for the AEW Revolution paper.
I'll put it on my phone if I can do it. I'll be there.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right. Good talking to you. Have a good one.
You sir.
As we like to say here, well, Nikki.
Yes.
We said we started the show with a very special. We like to open the show with Ladies' Night, right?
Yeah.
Nikki's special show. So, Nikki, we have a very special guest coming in for multiple-time women's champion in WWE. Bring her on, Layla.
Hi. How are you? Hi.
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for coming. This is fantastic.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, Layla. So take us through. I know it's been a hot minute since you've been in WWE and wrestling again. What have you been up to in since WWE, and what have you been up to lately?
Well, once I retired, I really did retire. Like I didn't do anything. I just stayed home and enjoyed not traveling. Enjoyed not living in a suitcase, and enjoyed not having so many bruises on my body and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what I did. I did get my real estate license at one point, and I just tried different stuff. I wanted to be a makeup artist, so I did that. And recently, I don't know, I've had the itch and wanted to come back out into the public. And, I'm excited to see what's been happening with women's wrestling. So I was like, before I hit 50 something, I'd like to, be more involved. And I'm about to have a podcast coming out soon, which is completely dedicated to the diva era. Not so much like the future or the present, definitely the past and my era and stuff like that. And I'm really excited. I'm going to be bringing in a lot of divas, so you guys can really get involved and hear some stories that you haven't heard in the past.
That's awesome.
That's awesome because again, you're the first UK women and Diva Search winner to be champion. That's like such accolades. I'm so excited for you to have like a podcast to talk about all this. Like, how do you feel? Like, how those accolades feel for you, and that we're still talking about them to this day?
Yeah, no, I like I said, I'm very, very privileged. I knew that from the moment when I entered the Diva Search, I really didn't know what my future career was going to entail. I didn't even think I was even going to have a future. I didn't think I was going to win. But to be crowned, as the first ever British, also first ever Arab, I've never mentioned that before, ever first Arab woman wrestler. The first Diva Search winner to win the women's title too. It's just like the women's championship title is like, it blows my mind. But sitting back and watching while I was away, I was watching a lot of stuff, and feeling that the diva era doesn't get as much love, I feel, as it should. You know what I mean? Or even people don't know the backstory about it, of why the women were presented in the way that they are presented now. And that's why I'm excited to do this podcast, because I'm going to show you guys that, we are the women who, started basically the foundation for the women to run right now. And not only that, it shows that we are the women that didn't really get to tell our stories. And I don't want us to be forgotten. So I'm excited that I'm going to bring that into light. And I know there are plenty of diva fans out there. So I'm really excited. It should be out really soon. I'm really, really excited for it. And I hope people will enjoy it and get behind it.
Absolutely. So you kind of touched upon, now like really getting back into the product and things of that nature. Like, what do you feel, I guess, what's your opinion of the product today, and like what you're seeing and maybe the differences between, what you experienced versus today?
For sure, women are given characters. They're able to create characters. They're able to shine, to have matches. Because the Diva era, we didn't really our matches, if you can really call it matches, we had like literally a minute and a half. If we if we were fortunate, we would get 5 minutes, to tell a story, get over, get the fans involved, have them, feel and understand what was going on, which was, if you think about it, it's really, really hard. So it's great to watch the women now who are able to tell their stories and able to get the fans to really get into their matches and they can even show how athletic and how amazing wrestlers they were.
When during our era, we were told we weren't allowed to do any punches.
We weren't allowed to do anything that was
shocking. Everything had to be like girl fights, slaps, at kicks,
and eventually it got a little bit better, but that really was what it was. I like the product now because I feel like the women, Rhea Ripley, for instance, let's talk about her. You don't even think about her in a women's wrestler, right? Like, she's just a superstar. To me, that's how I look at her. I'm like, wow, she's just like a superstar. And the only other female wrestler that I can think that had done that in the past was China. So it's great to see that, being relived, and I'm really excited to see what Rhea's gonna do next. The women, I feel like can really go now. So I'm really excited. I love watching other matches. I love watching Liv Morgan perform too as well. I feel like Chelsea Green, she represents sometimes a little bit of diva era for me. So
well, she wanted to bring back the Divas title.
She wanted the butterfly belt back.
I'm for it, 100%. I'm 100% for it. She gets me every time. I love her character. I love everything about her. It's entertaining, and it's
great. But I don't want our era to be forgotten. Like, we still did what we had to do, and we had a cap, and especially with Lay Cool. When I was in Lay Cool, I feel like we reached that cap. If we reached the maximum, whatever we could get, whatever we could fight for, we did reach that. So.
Yeah, and that's the problem, honestly, because now that there's a women's tag belt, and I was like, you guys should have been the first to hold that.
I agree with you, but it was never
going to be in the works. If anything, when Michelle and I, when I won that title, I beat
Beth, I think Beth Phoenix. When we suggested,
that we both were co-champions, so because otherwise I just didn't see how Lay Cool would keep going, because Michelle, why would you stick around with me, kind of thing. So when we first suggested that, it was kind of like, no. And then until like it was Batista who suggested the forever thingy.
Yeah.
That suggested, then that's when it was like, okay, let's run with it. And I'm so happy that we did. And I wish that we would have had the opportunities that the women have now. But you know what? That was just our time. That was our era. Have to accept it for what it was,
One of our listeners here, Lisa, is kind of commenting a little bit on it. She wants to know if we'll see one more match from you. Is that something in the cards?
Tag belt run.
I'm open to it. How about that? I'm very open to it. Before I hit, 50, I am open to coming back. But for me, if I come back, I really want to come back with Michelle. I want to be with people. I don't want to come back as a singles or anything
like that. I think that Lay Cool would be a treat for the fans, I'd say.
Hopefully a treat for the fans, and
absolutely.
I want to see. I want to come back and work one more time with my best friend, and
Lay Cool hasn't been seen since 2011, is it 2012,
2011? So I think it's due
to be reconnected.
And you kind of touched upon it. Obviously, you can't not talk with you about Lay Cool. So with Michelle being inducted this year, has there been any talks? Can you reveal anything? Would you are you going to be involved in that ceremony and things of that nature?
For one, I'm extremely
happy for Michelle. Well deserved, and it's about time that she is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm not going to share that stuff just because I'd rather have you guys
guess in and wait in. Does anybody want to see me there? I don't know. Do you want me and Michelle to reconnect? Do you want to?
Absolutely.
We do.
Thank you.
I do. I'm in for it.
Oh, thank you. You're going to have to watch the Hall of Fame to see. That's all I'm going to have to say about that one.
Fair enough.
you slipped that in here. Like, I was gonna ask. I was like, oh, she's not gonna tell you. But like, oh, I'm gonna ask. I'm like, okay.
Hey, you gotta ask, right? You never get an answer if you don't ask, right?
I'm a salesperson. You have to ask. You always have to ask.
No?
Layla, you could just blink twice if it's happening.
Come on, guys. Come on.
You thinking? I'm sorry.
Nikki? Sorry, Nikki.
I don't know. I told Nick I was gonna pivot for a second because it was like back my two worlds collided when the women's divas were on Project Runway. My mind blew up because I was like, oh, it's my wrestling thing, but also like my girly thing. And then like, how did you feel like being on Project Runway? Because that was like a phenomenal, like Christian has went on to do a bazillion things. I know this is a really bizarre question, but like,
Tough question. I'll be honest with you. I was a huge fan of Project Runway.
So when I heard that I was going to be on Project Runway,
like my mind just was like, and if you watch, like I didn't walk like normal. I was walking like a
fan. Like
yeah.
This is like more of my little
dream, you know what I mean? My little inner child dream of here I am
on Project Runway. So no, it was phenomenal. Christian, he was like,
you could tell that he was a star.
Yeah.
The get go, like, but
they were told that the designers were kind of just like, what, like you know what I mean? I think one guy even said,
"Oh, we're doing the tacky,
tacky contest." But we had a great time, and it brought on a huge viewership. I remember it was a really, really high viewership for them. So it was a great collaboration. I was ecstatic. I was in it. I was ecstatic. And I don't know, I think the other girls were too, you know. There was stuff behind the scenes that we
didn't talk about and stuff like that. But if you come to my podcast,
the girls, we're gonna get some stuff. We're gonna try to get
reeling me in.
Yes, what stuff do you want to know that you never find out? So you gotta come to Lay Talk.
So excited. I was like, I need to ask that question. You're like, it's like, I'll ask it.
I'm a huge fan. Huge
fan. Huge fan when it even first started, season 1. That's how much.
Yes. Yeah.
That's on America's Next Top Model. Like I was always a fan, even though it's controversial now when it's like not politically correct. Blah, blah.
Those old episodes.
That was my thing. That was like, yes. Every night, every time it was on, every week.
Yep. I was there with you.
Snap.
What's interesting is, you kind of talk about, obviously, probably one way I kind of define it like reality TV shows, like similar, like filming. Like it feels like whether like in Diva Search, kind of still in the aspect of like behind the scenes, like the cameras are kind of always on, right? Like, do you feel like that was kind of like it was kind of the precursor, right, to all of that what we see now? Like you see all those
Total Divas, Total Bellas.
Yeah, well, not only that. I'm like just the behind the scenes shot. Like there's angles that are being filmed like just for social media and like behind the scenes. Like you're always on. Did you feel like that there was kind of like a turn in like the culture, so to speak, because like social media and things like that was getting big?
Oh, absolutely. The Diva Search was like seriously, it was an inside view into backstage and the girls and getting to know the girls besides the character and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do think so. But I think when Total Divas came out, that
totally was like amazing
for women wrestling fans who wanted to get to know the divas like that and see their world
outside of wrestling. I thought it was phenomenal. I wish that during the Diva Search that they would have done it more like, like America's Next Top Model or like the Real World, where you would see the girls driving. Like, we're like, what? We have to drive 5 hours? We have to drive 4 hours? What the hell is this? Nobody can do. Plus the fights backstage, plus the bickering and the competition, and then the good times too. We had great times backstage. I wish we would have seen us being more scared. You know what I mean? A little more of that. But yeah, I'm excited. I want to look back on the Diva Searches. I really do. I feel like there's so much that we could touch on and, like you said, find out kind of thing what really happened with some of the girls, why some of the girls got eliminated, why some of the girls, stayed, some of the girls won, some of the girls didn't get chosen. I don't know.
Yeah. That's fair. We got a question in the chat here from one of our regular students. What are your memories of being on NXT or the game show format and winning it? And also, what's it like to have an NBA championship ring?
I'm so sorry. Say that again. The NXT what?
When it was a game show format
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
We were the first what do they call us? I'm so sorry. First pros, female pros.
Yeah. You're pro.
Yeah, no, it was phenomenal. I'll be honest, it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I loved how they put us with Cabal. I don't think we could have been with anybody else. At first, I think a lot of people were kind of like, "What? This is such a serious wrestler. This is like a great, amazing wrestler. They're gonna put him with Steve."
What? Like what? But I think it worked really well. I actually enjoyed sitting up on the stage watching the guys compete. It was really fun for us, and it was entertaining for us.
So I'm sure for the fans, it was entertaining.
I'm trying to think back to something.
There was moments where I still laugh about. Like I remember when was it Thaddeus who was carrying like the beer thing.
Oh, the keg when they were running with the keg.
Something.
Anyway, I remember stuff like that where it was just fun to be a part of, and I kind of think they should bring it back. I know they have something else completely different, but I think they should bring it back to NXT because you'll get to know the guys even more, better. And then hold on, what did you say?
Championship ring. Oh my God, amazing! How the hell did I get a championship
ring? I didn't throw a hoop. I didn't do anything.
Which I love. I can do it for free. Well, not now, but then I would have done it for free. So it's amazing. Then I got a championship ring, and it has my name on it. Like has my last name on it, Al. Who can say that? Who can say that? Hey, I have a MBA. You know what I mean?
Championship. I was amazing, phenomenal. I don't even
show it. I have it locked away. I refuse. I've had people like sending me.
Can I buy that from you? Like, how much does that cost? And I was like, yeah.
That's not it's yours.
Not gonna happen. That's part of my you know what I mean, history and stuff like that. But no, it feels very, very good to have it, even though I didn't really work for it.
Did you feel like given your background, it was a little bit of easier to transition? Because again, it's a lot of choreographing, a lot of athleticism that's required. Like, how do you feel like that transition into wrestling, was for you given your background?
It was definitely
very, very helpful because I'm a visual learner, just because I trained
in dance, so it did help me a lot. I feel like sometimes I did stuff that looked a little bit too dancey, you know what I mean, or something, but it did help me. It really was a strong factor that was able to help me and watch things because I can understand that. Okay, this move goes to this move. You do this, you do that. So yeah,
thank God for my dancing background, and not only that, thank God for my dancing background when I first won the Diva Search because I was able to do extreme expose, so I was able to train while I was on the road traveling
and then learn how to wrestle, you know what I mean. So it was, thank God. Did my dancing career or training definitely saved me and helped me to have a better career in WWE for sure.
I kind of want to backtrack a little bit between when you and Michelle go on this amazing tag team championship run. Is there a tag team or women that you would love to get in the ring with?
I've been saying I would love to face Chelsea Green and Piper. I would.
That would be a good match, be comical. But then you know what? Even Naomi. Even Liv and is it
Roxanne? Is that right? Am I right?
Raquel. Yeah.
Oh, so sorry. I'm thinking of Roxanne Perez. Raquel. Even that would be hilarious. I think I would say. I think Lay Cool could make it work with any of the girls right now in the tag team division. If that's something that they would ever want to do, I think it would work. We'd make it work. How about that? We'd make it work.
Yeah.
Best for business.
Best for business.
Nikki, is there anyone now? You've talked about who you might want to get in there with. Is there anyone that reminds you of a young Layla in WWE? Is there that you say this is me 10 years ago, this is exactly who I see?
10 years ago. Oh yeah, I'd say Chelsea Green. I think she's definitely more of the character, over dramatic kind of thing, entertaining, right? She's not scared of making herself look rich. So yeah, I definitely say Chelsea Green.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody else.
I feel like that Samantha before she left, I felt like she kind of reminds me of
a younger. Does she when she has her hair curly?
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know if you guys can think of anybody else. That's all I can think of.
No, I like to stick to our women's conversations, but I would be remiss if we didn't ask you how you feel about John Cena turning heel.
Oh my God.
I feel like everyone has a feeling about it.
Yes.
It's time because I remember when I was there that there was talks about wanting to turn him heel.
And I just don't think that I think they made the right decision not to do it then, because he's definitely the face of the company. And I think now, why not? He's going to pass the buck on, right? He's going to pass the torch on Cody. So, he turn heel, go out with a bang. He said this is it for him. This is the last thing. So I think he's going to pass the torch on to Cody. And I actually am
excited to see John Cena as a heel. I really am. Like it was a great moment.
I feel like that was the highlight of that pay-per-view. Like it was unexpected too.
I really wasn't expecting that. It really wasn't. So no, I'm excited to see what he's going to do as a heel. I really am, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's long overdue, and like I said earlier, like,
blew up the internet.
They're not behind it. They don't like it.
Mick, again, with wrestling fans, we're a divisive bunch. So I feel like some people are excited about it, and some people are like, "How dare you do that to Cody? How dare you align yourself with The Rock?" Like we're a fickle bunch.
Yeah, you got it's got one-on-one. It's got you talking. So I think because it's got everyone talking.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be great. I really do. I really think it's going to be a great match.
For sure. So I have more. I guess it's more question. Like, is there something? What would be something surprising about whether you personally or your character that people maybe don't know about?
Or like didn't get to see.
Yeah, didn't get to see
that you wanted.
I'm trying to think about. Oh my God,
I'm so sorry, guys. It's been such a long time. It's like I'm trying to think. I have regrets. I think that when I came back after my injury, when I tore my ACL, and I regret that I didn't follow my heart and not become a cheesy, like kind of baby face kind of thing. I do regret. I think I should have done a lot more development on my character. I should have thought things out thoroughly instead of just being happy to be back kind of thing. So I think that's what I regret. I feel like there could have been so much more that I could have done. And unfortunately, like that didn't happen. But yeah, that's what I feel. I feel like I shouldn't have been a cheesy baby face. I think I should have totally had a different direction, a different way of thinking things out.
What's fair? Nikki?
Can I do my breakfast question?
I was waiting now. This is her favorite question.
So we're from New Jersey, and it's very much there's a trope of like a breakfast meat if it's called pork roll or Taylor ham, and that's very much New Jersey. So instead, I ask people what's their favorite breakfast food because I love breakfast, and that's my favorite thing. I want to know what's your favorite breakfast food to eat.
Okay, so I'm such a foodie. Just to let you guys know, I am such a foodie.
Like I will try anything once, as long as it's not like
blood or something like that. But I will try anything
once. Being British, I love a good
full English.
I love English, but I like a full English with I'm gonna say chips, not fries. I'm gonna say chips.
Yeah.
Hash browns. I want to eat chips, eggs. I don't know. Do you guys even know what that is?
No, because you get the beans and like the tomato, like tomato.
Yeah,
is it beans?
Yeah, you get that. They get the mushrooms.
I'm trying to think what else. You get the fried bread. I do love that. But and then
my other favorite, I'd say, breakfast food would be just a hot croissant. Croissant.
Love it. Need a drop of that.
But full English is one of my favorites.
One of my favorites by far.
See, but do you put something on? See, like I could never like a croissant. I could eat by itself. I couldn't eat like people put like say like breakfast meats on it. I could never like make that the bun.
What? No, it's great. It's great.
It's like sweet. It's sweeter, and like I love sweet things, but like it gets too sweet. The level too sweet.
I know you're not on my breakfast level. Like I would eat breakfast for every single meal for the rest of my life. I feel like you're not a breakfast person.
Girl, pancakes.
I love pancakes. Pancakes are my breakfast food, basically. Well, Layla, it's been a pleasure. Before we let you get out of here, where can everyone find you and
in this podcast that I can't wait for?
Awesome.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram. It's Layla EL, so Layla L, and on X it's
MSLAYEL, Miss Layel. Podcast will be coming out. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube already, but just not up yet. So that would be Lay Talk Podcast. If you guys want to look that up, and I'll keep you guys posted and about it on X and Instagram. So real soon, hopefully real soon, we'll get that out. So it was really nice talking to you guys, and I just want to say love to all fans. You are doing well and having a great 2025.
Thank you so much. This has been incredible. I really appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate
Thank you.
Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, Layla. New friends. Making
new friends. Oh my God, she was so sweet.
Fun. We always make new friends on the show.
Always making new friends.
You just never know who's going to show up on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. So, Nikki, we've got about 30 minutes until SmackDown airs.
Yes.
As we get into it.
Right.
So, phone lines are still open. So, let's keep them open. We got a couple. See if we can get a few more in before we get out of here. Should we cut him off early?
Steven!
Well, let me get to.
Sorry. I just saw. Well, again, I love talk to me about breakfast food. He loves cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls.
I can't. Again, I know it's such a niche, and I know Joe has made fun of me before, but it's like pork roll versus Taylor ham. But just tell me about your favorite breakfast food, because I love breakfast, and Nick yells at me that I could eat eggs for breakfast breakfast.
Call it. That's not what your breakfast food is.
I fucking love breakfast. I guess the Jersey thing, how we love like diner food. Like diners are sacred in all our Jersey hearts. I don't know. Tell us her breakfast food. And tell us how Layla was like the cutest and love her. And then her podcast, like she's gonna get some like good guests. Like if she like wants to bring love to that era, which I agree with her, like desperately kind of needs love. Because I feel like we kind of like, again, looking with Michelle coming back and like Victoria and like all that kind of Beth and like that group, like
Lisa chiming in, Lay Cool, tag team champs. I would love to see that. Yeah. If there's one team, like there's two teams I could think about in the last like decade that I was like, they're a tag team that should be a tag team champ. It's Lay Cool, and to me, it's the Iconics. Or the other. Like those are the two I think about. Like when the tag titles came out, I was like, these are the perfect teams for this.
But they're also like that same ilk. Like the two beautiful ladies are sort of heely, but they're kind of facey, but you all instantly love them. Like I kind of they're doing like an indie run because they're done having babers, but like I want them. I would love to see the Iconics.
Yeah, it'll be good. So Nikki, let's bring it back on because we cut him off last time.
Yeah, I feel like I don't love your comment, Steven. She was actually
Steven, you have a lot to answer.
Sir.
Answer to this comment. Who do you think it was?
It's just that no, I didn't think there was going to be any shenanigans. I was just like, oh my God, that was really her. That was she's so nice, and looking forward to listening to her show when it begins. I'm sure she's got a lot to say. I had so many questions. I'm glad I settled on the one that I did, but I mean, you know, she had the Mania match against Snooki. You know, the teams. She was in the WWE version of ECW with Kelly and just so and that year of NXT that she did, that was a pretty decent year. Bray Wyatt was one of the contestants that year. Yeah. As you know, pre-Bray Wyatt, Husky Harris, but you know, still. There's just a lot to ask her, and I'm sure she has a lot of stories from her couple of years going around with the NBA.
Mm.
And plus, she's right, like a full English breakfast with HP sauce. Totally kicks ass if you ever get the opportunity to have one.
Steve, you are a world traveler. We just
high class.
We just only aspire to be.
I know. I want to be with Steve when I grow up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Steve's just got a bunch of lists.
You just made the list.
All the places he's going to travel to.
Oh. I would like to see. I mean, it's already been mentioned. I would like to see Lay Cool maybe do, one last, even a very short run, in the same way that the New Age Outlaws did some years ago, and had one last run with the tag belts for a few months. I think that ended in a Mania match as well.
Yeah.
Even if she just comes back and does like ringside appearances or interviews or whatever, just to have her, to have her back in the fold in some regard, even if it's just the podcast, would be wonderful.
And I feel like it's a voice that's kind of been missing, because I not saying that I haven't, but I know it's easy to shit on that era, and I love that she was like, we were trying, and again, it's not shitting on the people, it's shitting on the piece of that was in charge. So I love that she's gonna give the voice to people. Sorry, Steven, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's quite all right. It gets a bad rap. You get the feeling they could have done so much more with it. Not just the comedy, but they could have done so much more in the ring if given the opportunity and given the time. And it just didn't happen because, Vince et al. Wasn't really interested. But, also on the positive side, it did eventually lead to the beginning of what we have now with bringing in Becky and Charlotte and Sasha at that point. And, it led to the progress that led to what we have today. And hopefully they just announced they're going to do another Evolution. Maybe there's a role for Layla there.
Yeah, that'd be really exciting.
Yeah.
There's definitely
great interview.
There's so much talent.
Yeah.
To put a show like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great interview, and you guys are doing a great job with getting the guests. And, thank you. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I've been a ball of nervous energy because, Nick's the hustler and wants to do all this thing, and I'm the ball of it. Nervousness. This all Nick.
Yeah. Been lucky that everybody that has come on the show has been so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I like to think Steve is because we're nice, and we're just easy to get along with.
Steve's like, no comment.
Steve's like, you're not easy to get along with.
No, Steven.
Steve, when you come on the show, we just shower you with love.
I think
that's the only reason I'm here. Oh God.
I really don't think there's a person that listens to this podcast that doesn't wait for you to talk.
Seriously, Steve, you have a fan base on the show.
You're a celebrity now.
Oh God.
Seriously. And Steve, I don't know. When we go to 90s Wrestling Con, you might have to make an appearance. We might have to
I told Nick, I was like, we need Steven to be there, but we're going to put you in a Lucha mask just so they can hear your voice. And I feel like you can make some money, babe. They just want to hear you talk.
I'm sorry. Did I hear the word money?
Steve, we're going to give you a box like Chad Gable, and it's going to be a Lucha mask.
Yeah, give me a Nacho Libre mask and a cape.
Yeah, you're our Wilson for 90s Home Improvement kids. I feel like you're our Wilson. And everyone's in love with you. But I like that you keep your mystique.
Yes.
Sure. It's a mystique. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You just don't know. You just never know. It is phenomenal. And no one will ever. You'll be like
he's art.
You'll
Damn
be
it.
like the guy from what was it? Watergate. They go and store Steve.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know if you want to be called that.
No.
And nowadays, the term over the last 60 years, 50 years, has definitely been. It's definitely got a little bit out of hand.
What's happening? We had this beautiful conversation with Layla, and now you're making dick jokes.
Intentionally, that was unintentional.
That's all right. He needed an outlet for it. He couldn't do one during the interview.
Yeah, seriously. Keep
Lord heaven help me.
Steve, what else you got for us? Because I know we a couple ones. I don't know if we got through exactly, but we want to get back to our regulars. Treat our regulars great here, like gold.
I think I've exhausted it all this week. Just yeah, well, like I said, that Travis Scott payback, and the intention is for, at least as Travis Scott has been telling people, is that he intends to wrestle. Like, no, you don't need to do that.
But apparently he's been training. Like I'm not comparing him to Bad Bunny, but apparently he's been training. And he's not walking in cold like a Snooki, just like, I'm gonna be a thing. Like, apparently he's been in the ring, so that's something.
Yeah, what was the story I saw about Snooki? They only rehearsed the match once, and that was it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or she only rehearsed the match once. I'm sure everybody else had more time, but you know.
This Travis Scott versus R-Truth.
Oh my god, he was so Steve. Not to cut you off, but like the R-Truth stuff, like on Saturday, Brandy Rhodes is like, I hate John Cena, and then Truth is like, let's not jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
And then he was like, why, John, why? And it's just, R-Truth is a national treasure.
Yeah, Truth was pretty funny with his reactions this week. And you know, it tracks as far as he's concerned, you know. So,
yeah.
Well, Steve, before we let you go, we'll give you, as we do with all our regulars here, a last shot.
I can't wait for the next interview.
Yes.
Steven, stop putting it.
Oh, yes. Well, in 2 weeks, thank you, Steven. In 2 weeks, I don't have a good promo for it. But in 2 weeks, on the 21st, we have 5-time, not the same, but 5-time WCW Tag Team Champion, Buff Bagwell, joining us on the 21st. So, as we are on the road to WrestleMania, figured bringing someone who has but one of the WCW legends. So we're gonna have him come on and discuss it. So we're just beefing everything up. It's WrestleMania season, so this is the funnest time to be a wrestling fan. So
I hope he wears one of his big top hats.
Right? Do I need to buy a top hat?
Well,
I should wear a top hat.
I still have this from New Year's.
That's not a top hat. Not a top hat. Get out of here.
No, not a top hat. Okay.
But what Slash wears is a top hat.
Yeah. No, Steven, I need to. No, different hats. Steven, now I'm gonna buy a top hat. No, I'm buying one immediately after this podcast on Amazon.
Cool.
I want to wear the biggest fucking top hat that's just small enough to not be a Dr. Seuss hat, but big enough to be a top hat.
Does it cost extra if it comes with the rabbit too?
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, pleasure as always.
Say his proper name.
Steven.
Steven.
Yeah.
I love you immensely.
Adios.
Fun one as always. Steve's he just brings the heat every time he comes.
I know. I feel like he doesn't realize that like millions of people are falling in love with him.
He's becoming very, very quickly a legend on this show.
I think it's not quickly. It's already happened. It's already done. Cemented.
I think Chris Jericho.
Damn.
Chris Jericho puts it the best.
He's a real ring-a-ding-dong dandy. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been a good one, Nikki.
Bye-bye.
Before we wrap up here, as we are. No, wait.
And then go get your snacks. Take yourself out. Take your dog out. Ours has been snoring behind us for the past 2 hours.
So we did a good job.
We lull him in.
Yes, we lull him to sleep.
Yeah.
But before you do, hit the old like and subscribe. We haven't done that enough. We got to hit the metrics every couple of, it's goal making and goal breaking season.
Oh, yeah, here. It's your contributions to the company.
Yeah.
Anywho, stars. We appreciate you. We love you. Our regulars, Stephen, John, Lisa, Joho, Ed, all our new kids.
We are back here Sunday at 5, previewing AEW Revolution. Great card that we're going to go through one by one as we reset the record book for AEW, Nikki. We're resetting it. So
He thinks
you've
he's got
overtaken
something.
me for WWE predictions, but now I'm claiming the AEW world title as predictions.
All right, girl.
So
I'm gonna drop some knowledge on Sunday. So call in, give us your predictions. I'm gonna give my predictions. He's gonna give wrong ones. I'm gonna give right ones. Call in and find out.
yeah, whatever she thinks.
I love you so much.
But
Girl.
so before we take you out the same way we always do every show. They're not so CCO, Triple H.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. Banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
Able to do that tonight. Another great night without injury. Get through some last comments before we head out here. Nikki, slide away. Like the idea of Truth being the one that makes Cena turn back babyface.
Wouldn't that be the cutest thing that R-Truth gets to tag team with his childhood hero?
Yeah.
Into it. I'm into it.
I like that fancy looking too. It would be kind of neat. Nice little fun story. So,
Love it.
not bad. Steve, Queen of the Ring now in theaters. Don't forget.
Steven! I told Nick he needs to take me to see it. He was like, oh,
Yeah. And you know exactly what I said.
No, we were talking about it more on Sunday because there was an angle on the red carpet. We're going to talk all things Queen of the Ring, our queens, AEW. Call Sunday.
Exactly. We are back Sunday at 5. But until then, get your snacks, get everything ready. You do not have to go home.
But you can stay here. Bye. Bye.